So are you both in agreement? How can two people walk together without agreeing on the direction? Agreement. So it doesn't matter what you think the person is throwing at you. It doesn't matter if you think, hey, man, every time I get here, the person always wants to sit beside me. We're always having coffee together. Every time we hang out, he or she often ends up sitting right beside me or opposite me. We have great conversations together. We're always talking about sports or talking about movies or talking about things. We're on the same page. We agree on a lot of issues. I think he or she really likes me. I can tell you how many times people call me and say, hey, this is happening. What do you think? And I say, listen, my wife often encourages me to say this to ladies. Listen, until he says something to you, don't read into it. Until he says something to you that is crystal clear, that he wants to have a relationship with you, don't read into it. And I think it goes the same with the guy. Just because a lady wants you to pray for them, they only call you to pray for them, it doesn't mean that they see you as their lover. They might just see you as their prayer partner. Don't read too much into it. I'll share a story that happened to me a few years back before I began to see Dana. I remember there was this lady, I went to an event, and I was one of the teachers in this class, and one of my colleagues who was teaching the class, and after the class, I was beside my colleague and we were having a conversation. In the process, there was this lady, that I hadn't seen before. That was her first time there. She was with a friend, and she was attractive, and she seemed to be mature in the faith, and based on our conversation, and we had a good time, and we talked a little bit, introduced ourselves to each other, and that was it. Later on, I went to another class that I taught, and she happened to come to the class, and I saw her as well, and she reached out to me. We say, hi, how you doing? Small talk. That was it. I came back to the class again, and she showed up in the class again, and I don't know at what point when you change your handshake to a hug. I don't know if you guys ever think about that. You meet someone a few times, and I don't know what the rules are. When do you graduate from shaking hands to hugging the person? I don't know if you guys deal with that sometimes. So I see her again, and at this time we've built some kind of rapport, and so I'm walking toward her and I'm saying to myself, okay, do I shake her hand or do I give her a hug? So I decided to shake her, give her a handshake. In the process, I could see from her body language that she didn't want that. She wanted a hug. So I withdrew my hand and gave her a hug. When I hugged her, she said, I'm a hugger. I like to hug. I'm a hugger. That's what she said. And I told myself, the rational part of Tokes said, Tokes, don't read too much into this. She's a hugger. Trust me. You can see that she's very outgoing and friendly. Don't think too much about this. That's all it is. She wants a hug. I know how you can be like sometimes, Tokes. It's only a hug. And I took my advice. Another time, after I taught a class, she came to me. Let me say that again. I didn't go to her. She came to me. She had found out that I worked in a particular professional industry. She was working on a project, and she came to me to see if I could help her with the project. And I'm telling myself, Tokes, don't read too much into this. I know she came to you, but Tokes, don't read too much into this. She said she wanted my help with the project, and I told her what she needed help with. I didn't have the expertise for it at the time. I told her I had a friend who could help her with her project. Now, I knew quite well that I needed to have her number to give to the friend, but I didn't know how. I didn't want to come off like I was trying to be slick and kind of, get her number, that kind of a thing. So I said, so how do I connect you with my friend? She said, here's my number. Bang. And I'm like, Topes, listen, don't read too much into this. She only wants help with the project. I got the number. I reached out to my friend, gave him the number. But I said to myself, maybe, just maybe, she likes me. Maybe, because I hear women say all the time, guys don't get it. Guys are real slow. They don't read the signs. I've gotten emails about it. I've had people tell me about it. I said, maybe, just maybe. So I began to explore, maybe there is more to her wanting me to help out with the project. Well, after church one day, I and a bunch of guys were in the garage. We were having a conversation, and one of my friends said, guys, I think I can share this with you. There's this lady that I'm interested in. And it turned out the lady he was interested in was the lady that came to me. And he began to tell us why he felt she was interested in him. He said he went to the bookstore and she saw him, just hi, and gave him a hug. I'm like, oh no.